Hey everyone, there's a new tutorial on docs.base.org for verifying smart contracts using the BaseScan API. Today, I'm going to walk you through the entire process step by step. Here's what you'll need. You'll need Foundry and an API key from BaseScan. You'll also need access to the Coinbase developer platform. All right, let's jump in. The first thing we'll do is check if Foundry is installed by running the forge command. If you don't have Foundry installed yet, you can use the curl command provided in the tutorial. Next, we'll initialize a project using forge init, and we'll name our project verify_contracts. Now, if you look at the project structure, within the source folder, you'll find a counter.sol file. This is the smart contract we'll be working with to demonstrate how to verify contracts using the BaseScan API. Now that we have our contract, we'll need to deploy it on the Base network. For that, we'll need a private key to a wallet that we own. You can use an existing private key or create one using the cast wallet new command provided by Foundry. Be sure to export that private key as an environment variable so that we can use it later when deploying the contract. And of course, to deploy the contract, we'll need some gas fees. So we'll send some ETH to the new wallet we created. Once you've got the wallet funded, the next step is to get an RPC URL to interact with the Base network. You can get one from the Coinbase developer platform by navigating to portal.cdp.coinbase.com and going to the Node section. Copy your RPC URL and export it as a variable along with your private key. Now, with everything in place, Forge has a command that makes deployment simple. Running forge create with a saved environment variable for the RPC URL and private key, along with the file path to our contract, we'll be able to successfully deploy it. Once the deployment is complete, you'll receive a few important details, including the deployer address, which is associated with your private key, the contract address for the newly created contract, and the transaction hash for the contract creation. Now, let's move on to BaseScan to get our API key. If you don't have an account yet, go ahead and create one for free. Once you're in, navigate to the API keys section, create a new API key, and copy it to your clipboard. Let's now set up a file to interact with the BaseScan API. I'll just copy the code from the tutorial and walk you through it. We start by setting a source code variable that contains all the code from our contract, minus comments. Then we define the parameters, which include our API key, module, and action. After that, we make the request to BaseScan and log the results. Let's try running this. I'll type node verify contract basescan.js in the terminal, and as you can see, we get a response from the API. We have a status of 1 and a message, OK, with the results containing a GUID, which will allow us to track the status of our verification. The tutorial includes a curl command to help you track the verification status using your GUID. Just copy and paste the command, replacing your API key and GUID with your own. When you run it, you will likely get a status of 0 with the message already verified. This is a good thing. It means our contract has already been successfully verified. Now let's check the BaseScan UI to see how this looks. I'll copy the address of the wallet I use to deploy the contract. Navigate to my transaction history and click on the latest transaction. From there, I'll click on the to address, which is the contract address that we created in the previous step. Here, I'll see a green check mark next to the contract, which confirms that our contract has been verified. Another way to verify this is that with verified contracts, you'll be able to see the contract's source code, including the contract name and compiler version, directly on BaseScan. And that's it. You've successfully verified your contract using the BaseScan API. Thanks for following along. Stay based.